I'm Carla Pavone. I'm the Associate Director of the Holmes Center for Entrepreneurship at the University of Minnesota in the Schulze School of Management. And I am also the Program Director of MinCore, which is the Minnesota site of the NSF National I-Corps program, or National Innovation Corps. And the reason I came today is because I care a lot about the intersection between business research and business practice, and I hope to see more of it. It is not a new conversation to think about how to connect business research and business practice. I actually think that earlier, in the early days, there was a lot more of that connection. And then as various emphasis on being theory-driven and also various statistical methodologies have driven, for a period of time, more narrow studies. And I think what we're now seeing is a recognition of going back to having that more direct connection to actual need and being able to address the bigger issues. There's some very interesting work at University of Toronto around, by Andrew Maxwell, around being able to assess the potential of big technologies, so-called platform technologies. And that's a core issue for large corporations as well as for the universities like I'm associated with. And I think that utilizing methodologies like that can be very, very meaningful to both businesses and the academic world. I'm not a big believer in the great man theory. I think it's about a confluence of influences. So yeah, there's going to be some kind of champion in the mix, but it also, for it to take and for it to continue beyond that individual champion requires both institutional relationships and some sort of culture on the part of both parties to make it work. I think practitioners want to do what works. And if something helps them do what works, then they're going to do it. So they're not going to simply, on average, try to be in touch with what is going on at the frontiers of knowledge, unless it can be translated into something that's relevant to them. I think that co-production is self-limiting, and so it creates some beneficial effects. But it's around a couple of individuals, and it's not necessarily generalizable. For me personally, yes, a lot of research could be written in a way that makes it more accessible to practitioners. But I also think a lot of research could be designed in such a way that it's more meaningful to practitioners. And so the co-production may not be in the form of one-on-one relationships, but more researchers embedding themselves into business context so that they can really start inferring problems as opposed to identifying somebody that, gee, maybe that's the person I can work with, or basing their work on prior literature. It's challenging when you have something that related back to casting back in time to prior research. This is a very similar issue in the sciences, in the physical and biological sciences as well. So this is not a unique issue. The difference is that in engineering and physical and biological sciences, a lot of times you'll have sponsored research, which also has broader implications. And so companies are helping to pay for some kind of research, but that also can be applied more broadly for moving the field forward. And it would be nice to see something like that in the business world as well.